You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's here at the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic, where it has been a terrific tournament to help tip off Feast Week, and it finishes with a trophy on the line. Championship game between the Drake Bulldogs and the Vanderbilt Commodores. Boy, Drake has been terrific, taking down Miami and FAU in convincing fashion. Vanderbilt knocked off a good Nevada team and then beat Seton Hall by 16 in the semifinals. Two unbeaten teams. Chris Patola, Jay Alter with you. Thank you so much for joining us. And Chris, two first-year head coaches leading these programs, and they have to be thrilled with how their teams have looked here in Charleston.
Yeah, I mean, coaching matters, and both of these coaches are excellent. Both schools made great hires. Start with Vanderbilt and Mark Byington. Went out, got 13 different guys. I mean, had to overhaul the entire roster. He hit some home runs in the portal. One of those guys was A.J. Hoggard. You remember him from Michigan State? There's a presence about A.J. Hoggard. You always know when he's on the floor. The best thing he has done for them is drive the basketball to score, but he's also been a really good facilitator, has 13 assists in 2 games in this tournament. And then Drake. You got Ben McCollum coming from Northwest Missouri State, defending Division II national champs. What does he do? He's got to go get 10 new players. Brought a handful of his guys from Northwest Missouri to come with him. One of those guys, Bennett Sturts. He has been the best player in this tournament. If you have not heard of Bennett Sturts, you will know about him after tonight. Drake is very much a product of their collective, but he is the engine that drives that collective. He has been fantastic here in Charleston. Really can hurt you in a lot of different ways. Fun player to watch.
Sturts, a self-described late bloomer, didn't receive a single Division I offer. He started his career with Ben McCollum, like you mentioned, at the D2 level. Followed him here to Division I. And now, early sample size, just 5 games into the season. But this week in Charleston, Sturts has established himself very much as a Division I player.
Well, he leads Drake in points, assists, steals, minutes, free throws, second on the team in rebounds. He does it all. He's a terrific player. And
he has played every minute of this tournament so far, along with Mitch Biscari. Drake in blue, Vanderbilt in white. We are underway in our Charleston Classic championship game, and it's the Bulldogs that start with the ball. Two teams that have found a great early rhythm to start this season, both unbeaten. They've looked really unfazed in this tournament through some good competition. And you take a look at this Drake starting lineup. Impressively, 4 of the 5 Drake starters were playing Division II for Northwest Missouri State for their head coach Ben McCollum a year ago. Here they are on a big stage, heaving it at the end of the shot clock, and that's a shot clock violation.
Drake is very deliberate offensively. They run most of their stuff out of the middle third of the floor. They will play to the end of most of these shot clocks. The most impressive thing about Vanderbilt, what I did not see on tape prior to getting here, has been their defense. They're in denial. They play really, really hard, and they're aggressive in their ball screen coverage.
A quick 3 off the mark from Jason Edwards. He is not shy. He will let it fly. Cam Maniau backing down Devin McLaughlin, trying to spin his way free, and he opens the scoring. This is Tyler Nickel. He had 24 points in the semifinal win against Seton Hall, 5 and white. Edwards, aggressive, draws the foul against Bennett Sturts.
Drake plays a pack line defense, very much like those familiar with the way Tony Bennett has done it at Virginia. They are in the gaps, they contest shots, and they never get overextended. And their familiarity and continuity helps them. You know, Ben McCollum brought 4 players with him from Northwest Missouri State, which really helps them both on the defensive and offensive ends. They really never make mistakes and hurt themselves.
And speaking with Bennett Sturtz, one of those 4 players he brought over, he said, we all had confidence in ourselves, but we didn't know, can we play at this level? Well, they scrimmaged Texas Tech before the season started, hung with them, and that gave them a ton of confidence to come here to Charleston and play their best basketball. And now a chance to lead with a trophy. Good play. Cam Manyao, back-to-back baskets for Drake. Up ahead, Edwards pushing this tempo. Huffman keeps it in play. Devin McLaughlin finishes a chaotic sequence for Vanderbilt.
Both teams are very unselfish. And all of these guys, I mean, both teams are going to space 4 guys around their big who can all shoot, which really helps the spacing. I mean, the spacing for both of these teams is excellent.
Isaiah Jackson in attack mode, rejected at the rim. Nickel and McLaughlin sandwich Jackson.
Not a huge, you know, a huge front line for Vanderbilt. Devin McLaughlin only about 6'8".
Acrobatic. How did that go from Mitch Mascari off the inbounds? Both teams have found an early rhythm in this game. Drake a 6-4 lead early. Hogarth drives baseline. A.J. Hogarth, that rims out.
Hogarth has been so good at driving the basketball. It's been so tough to keep out of the paint. Such good size on him at 220 pounds.
Jackson, back to Manyao. He's been active early. That rims out no good. Second chance effort. And Bennett Sturtz draws the foul going against Grant Huffman.
Drake is very fundamentally drilled and sound. Like, they're very precise in how they move on both ends. That open side ball screen, they've hit Manyao twice, one for a bucket, one for a missed layup.
Abreu somehow weaving his way through traffic. Drake has started this game real strong.
They've now scored on 2 under out of bounds.
And all 8 of the Bulldogs' points have come in the paint to start this game. Hogarth lost the handle, reset, shot clock down to 8. Here's the transfer for Michigan State. Finds McLaughlin, great feed, McLaughlin the finish.
Vanderbilt plays what they call a flow game, so there's just a lot of freedom of movement. There's a little bit of a structure, but it always usually ends up in that ball screen with shooter space. Really good rim run by McLaughlin.
Sturtz, rejected. Hogarth, active hands. Huffman had help too. He sets the tone defensively for Vanderbilt. Hogarth out of control there. So this is high-level basketball early on. The makings of a great championship game here at the Charleston Classic. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere. Drake has taken Charleston by storm, double-digit victories against Miami and Florida Atlantic, and now Ben McCollum in his first season trying to win the whole thing and beat an SEC team in Vanderbilt. He's making a big jump from Division II to Division I. One thing he did a lot of at the Division II level, win basketball games. 4 national championships before taking the job here at Drake.
He can really coach. You know, it was interesting talking to Ben. One of the people he called when he took the job here at Drake was Josh Schertz, who went from D2 Lincoln Memorial to Indiana State. Of course, is now at St. Louis. And one of the things that Schertz told Ben was he didn't take enough guys from Lincoln to Indiana State. A lot of the kids that Josh Schertz took from the portal weren't better than the guys he had at Lincoln. And so that was one of the things Ben McCollum did, is he took, 4 guys from the great success he had at Northwest Missouri with him here to Drake, and it has paid dividends.
Yeah. All 4 of them start for this Bulldogs team, and Mitch Mascari and Bennett Sturtz have played every minute of this Charleston Classic. And that helps establish your culture. They know the expectation immediately, and they can help coach the other guys that aren't used to what a Ben McCollum team should operate like. Edwards shakes free, scoop to the hoop. Jason Edwards, so crafty.
Great find out of the portal from North Texas. He was first team all AAC last year. You can tell they're really quick. He's the best on Vanderbilt's team at creating his own shot.
And both teams pounding the paint early. 14 of the 16 points scored have been inside the paint.
And it's because of that spacing, you know, that it really opens up the opportunity to drive. Both these teams take a lot of threes. They space shooters around.
Also getting in, number 3, Tyler 10.
Five seconds to shoot. Jackson has to hurry. Loses the ball. Here's the talented freshman Tyler Tanner up ahead. Edwards gets it to go. What a start for Jason Edwards.
And Vanderbilt wants to play fast. They play at one of the 10 fastest tempos in the country. You live ball turnover with them, and they are off to the races.
Vanderbilt grabs their first lead of this championship game. Commodores on a 6-0 run. Bennett Sturtz, contested jumper, air ball. Abreu keeps it alive for the Bulldogs. Swiped away. Vanderbilt, those active hands. Defense dialed in early.
Telling you, Vanderbilt's defense has been, it's live, it's active, and they play hard. There's probably a little bit of a foul there. I mean, 2 hands on the ball handler, but nonetheless, you turn it over, live ball turnover with Vanderbilt. They have athletes and speed in the open floor.
They have forced 4 Drake turnovers in the opening 6 minutes of this game. They've converted. Those are the 4 points off turnovers. Risky pass, intercepted, 2-on-1. Jackson takes it himself, lays it up and in. Edwards, that's what he can do. Jason Edwards, scorching hot.
He's a natural scorer, and he makes tough shots, which means you sometimes have to live with some bad ones. He will take a bad shot, but he believes he should be scoring a rock.
Sturtz, contested layup, no good. Jason Edwards, who scored 9 of Vanderbilt's first 13 points. Heat check goes begging. You were talking about the bad ones. There's an example. Bennett Sturtz really yet to get going in this first half. Muscling it in, Bennett Sturtz creating his own shot there.
He's 6'4". He's got really good positional size, especially over Tyler Tanner, the freshman, who's only 6 feet tall.
Everything working through Edwards to start this game for Vanderbilt. Off to Jalen Carey, has a step, can't finish, and a foul is called.
The ability to operate one-on-one, that's the two-headed monster inside for Vanderbilt. They start Devin McLaughlin, then you come in with Jalen Carey, who came to Vanderbilt from James Madison. Not quite sure what Nate Ferguson was doing there. He kind of opened up the game. These 2 bigs for Vanderbilt, they're not tall, but they are really wide, you know, long and wide and really mobile. It gives Mark Byington the opportunity to be pretty aggressive in ball screens with both of them. They're lunch pail bigs who have a really good feel and IQ for the game.
Carey missed them both. So it stays a 1-point Commodores lead here at the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic Championship game. One of these teams is going to leave with a trophy and a 3-0 record here in Charleston. Stay unbeaten on the season. And that bounces off Mitch Mascari's knee. It'll be Vanderbilt ball when we come back. Commodores, an early lead. We've got a good one in Charleston. Vanderbilt an early 1-point lead, and Jason Edwards has set the tone.
Yeah, I mean, he's aggressive now. He's hyper-aggressive to score the basketball. He's not a point guard. You know, he's 6'1", but he's not a point guard. He is much better off the ball. And so you have Grant Huffman, Tyler Tanner when he comes in around him. And this offense that Mark Byington runs, again, it's that flow offense. It fits guys like Jason Edwards and A.J. Hogarth because they have a lot of freedom to drive and make plays reading the defense.
Not a traditional path to the SEC. This is his fourth school, but he's continued to move up levels and shown he can play at every one of them. Tyler Tanner, the talented freshman, gets a bucket out of the timeout. 3-point lead for the Commodores. Shot clock down to 7. And it's Sturtz. He's been defended very well in this first half. Bottled up again. That is a bad shot forced by excellent Vanderbilt defense.
Yeah, great defense. You know, Drake does so much crossing stuff, ball screens, dribble handoffs. Like, you have to guard so much of that stuff, and the ball moves so fast that you really have to communicate. I mean, you really got to talk to each other. You've got to be very precise and tight on your switches. And Vanderbilt has done a really nice job of that so far in this game.
Hogarth down the lane. It'll stay Commodores basketball. But Vanderbilt has forced 5 turnovers in this first half. And they have started this game shooting well. 67% from the floor, 6 of 9. Hogarth trying to keep it going, can't connect. Abreu lines up the 3, misfires. The freshman Tanner grabs the rebound. Drake has fallen into a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Vanderbilt trying to capitalize. Magnon off the mark, offensive rebound, second chance. Tanner makes Drake pay.
Drake has been so good on the defensive glass. They've only given up 9 offensive rebounds in 2 games here. Vanderbilt will make the pay, man. They got a lot of shooters spaced around that perimeter.
Sturtz, the crossover, and he's fouled. Mismatch going against Jalen Carey.
Comes goal on number 22, Jalen Carey, his first, team second.
Sturtz has been so impressive here. He leads them in almost every meaningful category. He's got a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He's been the best player here in Charleston. You know, Skip Prosser used to have an anecdote. He'd say a good point guard, you hand him the ball at the beginning of the game and he hands you the ball back at the end with everything taken care of. That's who Bennett Sturtz is for Ben McCollum.
And McCollum had to be patient recruiting Sturtz. He gave him that Division II offer, and Sturtz says, if I'm going Division II, I'm going to you, but let me see if I feel the Division I offer. Well, 13 months later, he accepted the scholarship, and Ben McCollum didn't give it away. He had his name on it for those entire 13 months, and it has been worth the wait. Tyler Tanner misses there after he drilled the three on the previous possession. Tavion Banks into the lane. Misses the layup. Nothing's coming easy inside. Vanderbilt defending everything, and a miscommunication there. Huffman trying to feed it to Nickel, and he wasn't ready for it.
Rare mistake by Huffman. So used to Tyler Nickel running for threes. Nickel, something I think ended up on the ground. He took responsibility for it. He wasn't looking up. But Vanderbilt has been very good at taking care of the ball. Second best in the country at taking care of it, only turning it over about 6 times a game. Rare mistake, especially from a guy like Grant Huffman, the transfer from Davidson, who's as reliable as it gets as a ball handler.
Some pressure being applied by Vanderbilt. Drake trailing by 4. They have not made a basket in the last 4 minutes. And that is a testament to the Vanderbilt defense right now. Trying to get something going. Banks misses another layup. Cam Maniau couldn't clean up the spill.
Game like this, you get that ball right in front of the rim, you got to finish. I mean, that's 2 bunnies now that Tavion Banks has missed. You got to finish that. You got to play through contact and go to score.
It is just not falling for the Bulldogs right now. They've missed their last 4 shots, no field goals in the last 4 minutes. And the shooting slump continues. Nickel dispossessed, ripped away. Tavion Banks, the steal, and another missed layup. Finally, it goes down. Cam Maniau.
What a great defensive play at the other end. Tavion Banks went Debo, said, that's my bike and my chain.
Huffman, step back 3, no good. Sturts finds a wide open Cam Maniau, who hammers it home.
He's the one guy who did not come from Northwest Missouri State, transfer from Wyoming, has been such an anchor for them. Only a sophomore.
Huffman answers on the other end, and that ends a 6-0 Drake run. Ripped away, active hands, Tyler Tanner. Finds Hogard alone in the corner. Dispossessed, the steal. Grant Huffman all alone, puts it home.
These turnovers, these live ball turnovers are killing Drake. And they're trying to walk it up. They're trying to get this game to their pace, and Vanderbilt will not allow it with their pressure and with their forcing turnovers. Look at this.
They sped up Seton Hall the other night in the semifinal, doing just the same. That time couldn't capitalize.
Vandy's defense is turned up. Poke away there. Another layup in the open floor.
Hey, this is the beginning. Hey, look at me, I'm winning. Whoa.
Now, you would never know it by looking at how this Vanderbilt team has started the season, but they were picked dead last in the SEC preseason poll.
Yeah, well, they got that wrong. But, you know, of course, they obviously turned over 13 new guys. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament, Vanderbilt.
Wow.
Now, you know, look, they may not beat the Alabamas or the Auburns of the world, but and part of it is all you really got to do is go 500 in the SEC and you're in the tournament. But Vanderbilt's good. I mean, their offense, we've talked about their defense. You've seen it in the early part of this half. And what we haven't mentioned is how deep they are.
Contact, no call, and a layup for Tavion Banks.
Vanderbilt's playing 9 guys 14-plus minutes a game. So, I mean, Mark Byington has a lot of different options to go to.
We said before the tournament started, whoever wins this thing is going to leave with a huge resume boost. 3-0 against a really good field. Vanderbilt hoping that it's them. Shot clock down to 5, but blocked in from the corner. Too much on it. Good box out by Mitch Mascari.
Again, Drake does a really good job on the defensive glass.
And that layup rolls out. Banks has missed 3. Stays with Drake, though. Bennett Sturts, he's really yet to get going. This is Daniel Abreu, locked up by Huffman. Shot clock down to 5. Mitch Mascari has to hurry. Swiped away. Jason Edwards, the takeaway. That is 9 turnovers for Drake in this first half. And Vanderbilt continues to cash in on the other end.
It's a Drake offense that rarely hurts their defense. Tonight, their offense is killing their defense. And it's the speed, it's the defensive speed in the hands of Vanderbilt that are doing damage.
Cam Maniau, he leads Drake with 10.
Got really good footwork for a sophomore. Plays wise beyond his years.
Right through the hands of Hogard, and Vanderbilt commits the foul. As well as Vanderbilt has played defensively, Drake has found a way to hang in this game, only down 2.
And they, you know, again, it's going to be low possession. So you may get some runouts, but it's, you know, it's interesting. Again, a lot like the Virginia teams under Tony Bennett, like with this Drake team so far in this tournament, they have a way of making your little mistakes feel like big mistakes. They make you pay because, again, they play at a really slow tempo. There's so few possessions that every possession has a microscope on it.
Maniau, he misses it that time. Transition 3, Edwards is fouled, and he will get 3 at the line.
That can't happen, that foul. I mean, that can't happen. It's been a rough first half for Tavion Banks. First of all, he can't finish at the basket, and then he commits an inexcusable foul.
Edwards makes the first of 3. And Mark Byington, first-year head coach, coming over from James Madison. We mentioned it a few times, but flipped the entire roster. This wasn't just a remodel. This was a gut renovation.
It was interesting talking to him about his philosophy going into the portal. He wanted to get guys who played for programs that were top 100 type teams, guys who were going to come from winning programs. It's amazing to buy into. Like, this is a really unselfish team for so many new guys this early in the year.
Sturts, another great find. Maniau goes up with it, over Carey, and delivers.
There's that ball screen in the middle third. They run so much of their stuff in that middle third so that you can't have a help side. And it really opens up those rim runs we've seen a lot of tonight from Drake.
Edwards, pull-up pop. In and out, no good. And a foul on Jalen Carey on the rebound. So Drake ball trailing by 3. Close, competitive game here in the championship. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement.
Comment.
Well, how early, Coach? I mean, you're a lot older than I am. No, you know what, Coach? He makes a great point. The thing that is impressive, you watch a team on tape, which, you know, I try to make not as much of a practice of. I like to go on gut, but sometimes you want to prepare, Jay. And the thing that has impressed me the most that I did not see is Vanderbilt's defense. Like, their offense sticks out because of their pace, the number of shooters and scorers they have. They are in the ball. Their ball pressure is outstanding. They play hard. The one thing they don't have is a lot of, height and rim protection in the paint. But I think they sort of account for that with how aggressive they are with Jalen Carey and Devin McLaughlin in ball screens. So, look, it's really that defense that I believe it. They're going to be a tournament team this year, and I think Mark Byington, you can tell why he was so successful at James Madison.
And he went to the NCAA tournament a year ago with the Dukes. And that is a bold claim from Chris Spatola, because Vanderbilt was picked dead last in the SEC preseason. They have not looked like it. Mitch Mascari hits it from King Street to tie it at 27.
And that's what he does. Had 6 of them in their game the other day. He's got 9 in 2 games coming into this one.
That is Drake's first made 3 of the night. Huffman passes up a 3 of his own. Edwards, he won't pass it up. Scoop to the hoop for Jason Edwards.
That's the freedom that Vanderbilt plays out of in their offense. They get you in rotation and help and recover, and then they just chew you up.
Great pass from Sturts. Cam Maniau continues the feast. He has 14 in this first half.
Their execution out of that high pick and roll is so efficient. And it starts with Sturts and his ability to pass.
On the drive, rejected. Vanderbilt keeps it, but then it's stolen away by Abreu. Tied at 29, under 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Mascari, he's red hot, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Confusion on the high screen. You cannot leave Mitch Mascari. That has to be switched.
Edwards caught between a shot and a pass, turns it over.
Coming into this game, 38 of Mitch Mascari's 44 shots were threes, and just, you're too late if you're Chris Magnon on that backside. They run that double high ball screen, and it can get confusing if you don't talk it out. And that's where Mitch Mascari just kind of gets lost in the shuffle and finds that open look.
This is Drake's first lead since it was 8-6. Mascari passes off to Banks. Tried to hand it off there. Maniau, that might be the first mistake he's made tonight. Those two just a little off there. Tenth turnover for Drake in this first half. It's led to 10 Vanderbilt points. Here's Edwards. He's got 14 in this first half. Lost the handle. Somehow kept alive. Vanderbilt nearly turns it over. Instead, it's a 1-point game. Timeout. Use it or lose it for Ben McCollum. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Drake with a 1-point lead, 20 seconds remaining in this first half. Chris Spatola, Jay Alter with you. The Bulldogs' first 22 of 24 points came in the paint. Then Mitch Mascari makes 2 threes. Does that spread the Vanderbilt defense now?
Yeah, it can, no doubt about it. And I think the presumption that they can make threes starts the game space, but then it's like a football team that runs the football. You start to stack the box, and then all of a sudden Mascari breaks free and hits a couple threes. One thing Vanderbilt's done is they've kept Drake off the foul line. Drake typically, you're averaging 26 free throw attempts a game, only 2 in this first half.
Love that analogy, by the way, on an NFL Sunday.
Hey, I understand how to cross-advertise.
Man, Yao, he had a good first half. Thought he missed that one. It's because he was fouled. Cam Yao shooting 7 of 9 in this first half. 6 rebounds to go along with it.
That was goal on 99, Devin Walton. His second, team 6.
It's amazing, like Cam Yao, this front line tonight matches up height for height. You know, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". He has also dominated some of the bigger front lines in this tournament. And you can see why. I mean, his mobility, high screen, rolls hard, finishes with strength. He is 230 pounds, but his IQ, you know, he ends up outsmarting some of the other bigs he's played in this tournament.
You know everything's going his way when he makes a free throw. He came into tonight shooting 39% from the free throw line. Got them both.
Take that, Jay Alter. I'm gonna put my free throw percentage on blast.
Now 16 points, leading all scorers. Incredible first half for the transfer from Wyoming. So 2.6 seconds remaining. Good time to remind you during the timeout. Cooper, Flagg, and Duke taking on #1 Kansas Tuesday night. A sonic blockbuster out in Las Vegas. Coverage begins 9 Eastern on ESPN. That's Tuesday night. You do not want to miss Duke and Kansas.
You know, Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, the force of character is cumulative. The force of winning is cumulative. And I don't think Duke wins that game on the road in that environment at Arizona if they do not play that Kentucky game and go through that loss. They were clearly a different team offensively. Defensively, what they did to control that game in the half court on both ends was fantastic. And look, Kansas is a different animal than Arizona, so we'll see what happens, but it was impressive.
Edwards for the tie. Goes begging. So Drake takes a 3-point lead into halftime.
I'm currently looking up more Ralph Waldo Emerson quotes for you. Second half.
We got NFL comparisons. We got poetry quotes. Chris Patola's got it all in this first half, as he should. There's a trophy on the line in Charleston, and Drake, a 3-point lead. Let's get you into the studio with Zubin, Seth, and Sean. We welcome you back to ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. You're watching the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic Championship game. A trophy on the line. Drake, a 3-point halftime lead against Vanderbilt. Chris Patola, Jay Alter with you. It's funny, you say Drake leading by 3. We felt like Vanderbilt was in control of that first half, and yet they're trailing by 3. What do you do if you're Mark Byington?
Well, you got to figure out a solution to Cam Yao, who had 16 points in that first half. And it was really an adjustment from Drake. They're taking advantage of how aggressive Vanderbilt is, both with their pressure on the ball, but how aggressive they are in ball screen coverages. Vanderbilt hard shows. They hedge on ball screens, and so Cam Yao is just rim running right to the front of the rim. And because that ball screen is set in the middle of the floor, there's really no help that's been able to come over. He had a field day. Those 16 points, a season high for Cam Yao. And Tyler Nickel, his first shot attempt of the game is an air ball. Second chance effort, it's a 3. Jason Edwards, he's got 17 to lead the Commodores. He's really been their main offensive punch. Tyler Nickel was sleepwalking through that first half. I mean, a complete non-factor after a big game on Friday. Yeah, 24 points for Nickel in the semifinals. A ghost in the first half. Yao rejected at the rim. Here's Mitch Mascari, a deep 3. It's good! Mitch Mascari, unlimited range. Great shooters gonna shoot. I mean, that was deep, well contested, and he was nothing but net. Mascari's third 3 in this championship clash.
And a foul called.
Foul called on 4, Isaiah Jackson, his first, team first.
Now, you can nitpick and say the switch was a little late and miscommunicated, but still.
On the line, number 1,
I mean,
Edwards.
that is deep, contested by a little bit of length and size, and yet Mitch Muscari is still wet.
What a great story Muscari is. He had put down the basketball after graduating from Northwest Missouri State, where he played for Ben McCollum, and then McCollum gets the Drake job, remembers, hey, Mitch Muscari's got one more year of eligibility. So he calls Mitch. Mitch goes, I've accepted a finance job. I'm working. And he goes, come on back. And here he is at Drake making big threes on a big stage.
Well, he is one of the best shooters in the country that people are not familiar with. You need to get familiar with Mitch Muscari.
Could you imagine if he was just playing, in an adult league right now, tearing it up?
In the finance league? You think those switches are late?
And Ben McCollum knows what it's like to accept a finance job and put down the basketball. His first job out of school was at Wells Fargo, and he said it just didn't feel right. He missed the game. He wanted to give back. So he took an assistant coaching job, and the rest is history. 4 Division II national championships later, and now getting his first head coaching job at the Division I level. And what a start it has been for his tenure at Drake. Hogard draws the foul, a chance to take the lead for Vanderbilt at the free throw line.
Well, and what it shows you is the difference between, winning is winning. And so the difference between a winning team at the Division II level and it translates to this level. And especially to have that type of experience and continuity. I mean, these guys finish each other's sentences. Just watching them at practice, Ben McCollum is there, he's coaching, but these players do a lot of the coaching of themselves.
He was installing plays earlier today before the game, and he'd go to the 4 players that he coached at Northwest Missouri State. He goes, remember 3 years ago when we installed this? And they all remembered, and they helped teach the other guys. It's incredible to watch. One of those players, Bennett Sturtz, he was quiet in the first half. A big bucket there to fire Drake back in front.
That high ball screen is really hurting Vanderbilt. If it's not Danielle, it's Sturtz.
Edwards tried to keep the dribble alive there, lost his footing, called for a travel.
Sturtz is just so patient off of this ball screen. He's just reading it. He's just reading what the defense is going to do. Now, Vanderbilt in a drop, not what they're comfortable doing because they don't typically cover that way. And Sturtz says, thank you very much.
And Grant Huffman, the best on-ball defender for Vanderbilt, going against Sturtz. Kick to the corner, Abreu, got it! Daniel Abreu buries it.
No, that was the adjustment defensively for Vanderbilt to go to drop coverage on that high ball screen, but it is really hurting their defense right now.
Nickel forced that one. Abreu, mismatch, takes advantage of Edwards and draws the foul.
And here's another one. In that middle third, he just kind of toys with it. There's that high screen. McLaughlin in that drop, and then all of a sudden you feel like you got to help from the strong side corner. Bad decision because they've got shooters spaced. They only took 6 threes, Drake, in the first half, so their volume was low. And I think that was the calculus for Mark Byington's defense. We're going to be aggressive and stay home and be aggressive in the ball screen. And Mannion cut him open. And now what you're seeing, now Drake taking advantage of the alternative.
It's a 6-0 Drake run, largest lead of the game for the Bulldogs. Hogard, everything but the finish. Stayed with it though, cashes in for 2. Edwards getting harassed by the freshman Tyler Tanner. Switches on, nobody picks him up. And he is fouled hard on his way for a slam.
He shows you there the acceleration. Again, just poorly covered. Nice little screen there, little Spain action. They call that a Spain ball screen. So you get the ball screen, then you get a little back screen there for Mitch Muscari. And Sturz not only shows you the burst, but he shows you how fearless he is. I'm not quite sure what he's doing with his haircut there. Either are we going buzz cut or are we trying to grow it out? We all have things to work on.
I think that's a good buzz.
It's like an overgrown wiffle. You remember they used to have a wiffle cut?
Oh, man. Bennett Sturz catching strays from Chris Matola. Our production crew is trying to take the pressure off Sturz and tell you that Duke and Kansas coming your way. Sonic Blockbuster Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Terry's Chocolate Vegas Showdown.
You always love pointing that out. You got a chocolate thing you want to alert us to?
No, I actually don't like chocolate, so maybe that's why I'm drawing attention to it, although I'm sure I would love Terry's chocolate. How about that? It'll count for two. It might have gone off a Drake player. Jason Edwards, when he's around the rim, he will make things happen. No credit him for the 2 points. He's up to 21. Abreu re-attacks. Daniel Abreu. He's been aggressive in the second half. Edwards, the blow by, all the way to the rim. Quick answer. A season high 23 points for Jason Edwards, keeping Vanderbilt in it. And that time, Cam Manyao, who's been outstanding all night, wasn't ready for it. Season high 16 for Manyao. He's got his Drake Bulldogs leading by 4. Exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement. Random fandom here in Charleston, and we have had terrific fans, awesome atmospheres this week, and sitting amongst the Bulldog faithful, former player Dolph Pulliam, who played for the Drake Final Four team in 1969. There he is, going against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the Final Four. Dolph was drafted to the NBA by the Celtics and in the NFL by the Cowboys, and turned them both down to stay at Drake. Took a job at the university. He retired in 2013. Here he is more than a decade later, still supporting his beloved Bulldogs. Almost a rim rocker out of the timeout. Dolph Pulliam and all the Drake fans hoping that they can hold on to this 4-point lead and leave Charleston with a 3-0 record this week at a Charleston Classic Championship.
Way too much dribbling by Jason Edwards. I mean, you're not going to be able to do that against this pack line defense that is loaded up.
Abreu saves that ball from being another turnover. In trouble here. Shot clock down to 3. Muscari didn't get a clean look. Up ahead, Tyler Tanner leaves it for Edwards. Season high 23 points for Jason Edwards tonight. Hogard refuses a screen, goes to work, and draws the foul.
It was a long outlet. Drake did a nice job getting back to set their defense. And then just like you said, refusal with a screen. Help comes over late. And that's A.J. Hogard's game. He has been so good throughout his career, but certainly here in Charleston, driving the basketball, using that 220-pound frame of his. You know, he's really talented. I mean, folks who remember him from Michigan State, he's played in a lot of big games. The thing he battled is consistency. You know, there's good A.J. and then there's not so good A.J. But a fifth-year guy who's it was a big pickup for Mark Byington, and has become an important piece.
And this is both at the line.
Game like this, those types of misses, 2 in a row, is big.
Sturts hands it off. Banks this time makes the layup after 3 misses in the first half.
Sturts is just a magician. I mean, he's just working Vanderbilt's defense.
He has 8 assists tonight. And another forced turnover. Up ahead, Bennett Sturts leaves it. Tavion Banks again. 9 assists for Bennett Sturts. And the Bulldogs have their largest lead of the night.
If you don't know the name Bennett Sturts, now you know. The maestro is delivering here in Charleston, South Carolina.
The Feast Week continues tomorrow with the Maui Invitational. Memphis and UConn tips things off 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Chris Matola, there is nowhere to hide in that field. Boy, it is loaded.
Absolutely loaded, and a lot of different styles. You know, you look at the way that UConn plays Carolina. That's going to be a war, Iowa State and Auburn. How about this guy? You know, we said in the open, he's been the best player here in Charleston. That continues to be the case. He's got the 9 assists. So in about 2.5 games here in Charleston, he has 21 assists and only 5 turnovers. Just controlling the entire game.
And a big reason why the Bulldogs have opened up an 8-point lead. The largest separation either team has found tonight. Hogarth trying to make something happen, flying to the rim, it scores, hustling it home, A.J. Hogarth.
A tough finish. Nate Ferguson going vertical, doing a nice job of that.
Banks backing down Hogarth, who has no choice but to commit the foul.
That was foul on number 11, A.J. Hogarth, his first, team third.
Leans in for 2.
There's just a precision to everything Drake does on both ends. They are very precise in how they move.
Shot clock down to 7. Hogarth has to hurry. That 3 goes begging right at the end of the shot clock. Up ahead, Nate Ferguson for 2, and it's a 10-point Drake lead.
Drake has a way of making your little mistakes feel like big mistakes. Bad shot on one end, they pick you apart in transition on the other.
And Bennett Sturts another assist. He is up to 11 tonight. Wow.
Yeah, there's a microscope on every possession when you play Drake. It's a lot like when teams would play Virginia with Tony Bennett. You make one mistake, they're going to take advantage of it on the other end.
Drake is shooting 80% in the second half. They're 8 of 10.
And most of the time, you don't know who scored. You just know that Drake scored, and you know that Bennett Sturts probably created the opportunity.
Collins trapped in the corner. He has been quiet tonight, the transfer from Virginia Tech. Taking on Ferguson, gets him up in the air, and draws the foul. He'll be at the foul line when we come back. The Commodores trailing by 10. a comeback necessary here in the championship game. Now Bennett Sturtz doing Bennett Sturtz things for Drake.
He's controlled the entire game. You know, these bigs for Drake should buy him a steak dinner. I mean, he is just delivering it on time, on target. And then he shows you his ability to score. Just so under control, you can't speed him up. And Vanderbilt has shown him the whole kitchen sink in terms of ball screen coverages, and you just can't get this guy out of what he wants to do.
He is assisted on 11 of Drake's 22 made shots tonight. And those 11 assists, a career high for Bennett Sturtz. And that includes the 2 years he played at the Division II level. And he didn't get a Division I offer. Ben McCollum said he trusted his eyes. And boy, was he right on Bennett Sturtz. Sturtz, a self-described late bloomer, and he has continued to get better and better throughout his career. Just a junior, playing Division I basketball now for the first time, and he has been the biggest reason why Drake has looked so good here in Charleston. An 8-point lead, looking for more. Mascari, no good. He's been automatic from 3, but missed that one. Will stay Drake ball underneath their own hoop. Abreu back to Sturtz. He left it for Manyao. Might not have been ready for it. Good ball movement, finds Collins. Nothing but the bottom of the net for MJ Collins.
It's a big shot. See if it gives a little bit of life to Vanderbilt. They were bleeding a slow death here.
Sturtz weaves through traffic. 11 minutes to go in the Charleston Classic Championship. Drake nursing a 5-point lead. Step back, Sturtz off the mark. Offensive rebound. That is 9 offensive rebounds tonight for this Bulldogs team. And they've cashed in on 9 second chance points. Swatted. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
And then for Drake, number 6, Kenyon Banks.
Mascari in attack mode. Contested at the rim. Shot clock down to 3. Ball in the air. Banks heaves it and hits it. A prayer at the end of the shot clock, and somehow it went for Tavion Banks. Wow.
Every player loves a shot at the end of the shot clock because it's a free shot. You got to take it. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be good. That is, you know, for a guy who's had a hard time, or at least in the first half, had a hard time finishing at the rim. He's money from about 40.
You know, the craziest part about that is Grant Huffman had a hand in his face. I mean, it was a contested 40-footer. And now it's an 8-point lead for Drake, just as Vanderbilt was gaining some momentum. And that was an excellent defensive possession, and yet it cost him 3 points. Collins trying to get hot. Misses it.
I mean, it's not a good look. You know, and that's where, you know, depth can work in your favor. It can also work against, because you got a lot of guys who don't understand at this point in the game, you can get a better look than that.
Under 10 minutes remaining in this tournament. Final game here in Charleston. And Drake leads the championship contest by 8. Another offensive rebound stolen away. Here's Tyler Tanner. Nickel, the trailer. A good look, and he can't connect. Tyler Nickel is still scoreless after he delivered 24 points in the semifinal win on Friday night. Abreu lines up a three, misfires. Collins gives up the transition three, splits traffic and scores.
Good decision.
It's a two-possession game. The Drake lead down to 6. Banks looking for Manyao, swatted away.
Is Vanderbilt switching that top ball screen now? You had a mismatch inside. Really good play by Nickel to create the deflection.
Collins can't shake free. Here's Grant Hussman into the lane. Carey. Too much on it. That's not his shot. The big man. Banks leaves it. Missed layup by Bennett Sturtz. So it's worth noting, Bennett Sturtz and Mitch Muscari have played every minute of this tournament here in Charleston. This is their 3rd game in 4 days. Maybe some tired legs for those two. They've been so good, but do they have another 8 minutes left in them? Tanner fouled. A 6-point lead for Drake. Vanderbilt surging in this second half. Feast week continues. It actually finishes with the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. That tips off Wednesday with quarterfinals action. Former Drake head coach Darren DeVries, now the coach of West Virginia. They draw number 3 Gonzaga in that opening round. And his former team, the Bulldogs, a 6-point lead here in the Charleston Classic Championship. Vanderbilt piling on the pressure, though. Edwards off the bench, misfires from 3. It'll stay Vanderbilt's way.
It's hard to get this ball inside a pack line defense. You know, they, especially with how loaded in the gaps Drake is, you got to stay diligent, though. Couple possessions here, Vanderbilt, you know, gravitating to the path of least resistance, resulting in some non-quality shots.
The two teams that have battled since tip-off, trying to leave Charleston undefeated on the season, 3-0 in this tournament in just 4 days. And it's always nice when you can take a trophy back home with you. Is it going to Nashville or Des Moines? Carey rejected at the rim. Manyao says no.
My goodness.
A big block on one end. Can Drake cash in on the other? Sturtz, a 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Abreu. He'll head to the line for 2.
This is an unbelievable block. I mean, there's a violence to this. Look at the recovery. Cam Manyao says, "My meatloaf."
Manyao with a season-high 16 points offensively to go along with 9 rebounds and the biggest block of the night to preserve a 6-point lead that Daniel Abreu looks to add to from the foul line. And this is the first.
Now, Manyao's an interesting story because Ben McCollum actually recruited him out of high school. Manyao's from Missouri. But he wanted to go play D1, so he ends up at Wyoming and then ultimately here at Drake with Ben McCollum.
Under 7 minutes to play in this championship game and a 7-point lead for Drake. A.J. Hogarth, the spin cycle, leans in, missed it. Another defensive stand by this Drake defense.
And a stand is the way to put it. I mean, this defense by Daniel Abreu. And look at the stunt from the scary, so you feel that extra body over there, but Abreu does all the work, just keeping the ball in front.
And Vanderbilt has missed their last 4 shots, a scoring drought that's gone on for more than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. First-year head coach Mark Byington, he's been so happy with his team. 6-0 on the season. You know, they didn't win their 7th game last season until February 13th. Bennett Sturtz, he was slow walking the ball up, 10-second violation. Ball back to Vanderbilt. A rare error from Bennett Sturtz.
It's a little too cold-blooded. Like you said, rare mistake.
What I was saying before the turnover, so Vanderbilt wins their 7th game of the season last year on February 13th. Here we are on November 24th, and they have a chance to win it. So Mark Byington, a team that was picked last year, Cameron Yao, SWAT team again. He's had 2 big blocks in the last minute. Seconds to shoot. Sturtz trying to shake free. Backdoor cut. The extra pass to Abreu. And another foul.
I mean, Cam Manuel is not just blocking these shots, like, he's putting some stank on it. Like, these things have a violence. You know, what's really cool is, my goodness. Take that back, little man. What's really cool is the college basketball world is being introduced tonight to Bennett Sturtz, Cam Manuel, and this Drake team. Like, this is a program that has had really good success. Obviously on Darren DeVries, they've been in the tournament, but they hired the right guy. I mean, Ben McCollum was a great hire, can really coach. And then he's got some really good players, unfazed by the moment.
It's a great point that Ben McCollum, over his 15 years at Northwest Missouri State, had opportunities to leave, but he waited for the Drake job. An Iowa native back home. And boy, in his first season, Drake has been brilliant. Another block. This time, it belongs to Abreu. 3 blocks on 3 straight possessions for this Drake defense. Sturtz backing down Edwards. Seconds on the shot clock. Jackson goes up with it. Missed it. And Edwards is fouled.
And this is help defense. Look at Abreu come over to make a play. And that's kind of a soft take. I mean, Jalen Carey, come on, man. But still well-timed without fouling. And just read the play.
So Vanderbilt is in the bonus the rest of the way. 1-and-1 coming for Jason Edwards. And he is a perfect 7 for 7 at the line tonight. That ends a 4-minute Vanderbilt scoring drought. You can't block a free throw. Which is good news for the Commodores. Just 1 of 2 from the line. Offensive foul, illegal screen set by Manuel.
I mean, you know, Drake's giving some opportunities here for Vanderbilt. We'll see if they capitalize.
So the Commodores have missed their last 6 shots. Can they get an offensive spark down the stretch? How about Tyler Nickel? Way off the mark.
Terrible shot, but it's interesting. Mark Byington's gone small, so he's taken both bigs off the floor. He tried to open up the floor, and Tyler Nickel just takes a terrible shot.
He is still scoreless tonight. Hey, all the way to the rim, but it doesn't roll in. And a foul called on the floor against Vanderbilt. It'll stay Drake basketball.
And the question with this lineup, if you're Vanderbilt, is can you rebound with this lineup? As Manuel has been an animal on the glass.
Sturts draws the foul. He'll have a chance to get to a double-double here. He's got 11 assists. He's been stuck on 8 points.
Just unfazed, no change in emotion. And you made the point earlier, it is pretty remarkable. He has played every minute here in Charleston.
And that is no easy feat. This is 3 games in 4 days against high-level competition. And Ben McCollum has kept Sturts and Mascari on the court for every single minute of game action. And take a look at that tonight. But that has been every night here in Charleston. And with that, a double-double. 10 points to go along with 11 assists for Bennett Sturts.
It's where depth can sometimes be overrated. If you got the right players, you want them on the floor.
Final 4 minutes. Vanderbilt down 10. Edwards loses his footing again. He slipped 3 times tonight, and that's a turnover. Sturts all the way to the rim for 2. Timeout Drake. The Bulldogs up 12.
Just too small. Bennett Sturts has been both bigger physically and his presence. What a night for Bennett Sturts.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere. Coming up after this game goes final here at Charleston Sports Center. Busy day in the NFL. Herm Edwards will tell you how good the Packers were against the Niners and the Commanders collapsing in D.C. as the Cowboys pull a shocking upset. Not the biggest upset of the day, though. That would belong to UCLA as South Carolina's long win streak ends. Dawn Staley and the defending national champions going down to UCLA. Busy Sports Center coming up after us. Chris Spatola, Jay Alter with you. How about the Drake Bulldogs? And if you're a casual college basketball fan, maybe you're not surprised because you're thinking, yeah, Drake's been to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, 3 of the last 4 years. But this is a totally different Drake team under a brand new head coach, 10 new players, including 4 from Division II, and they have showed up on a big stage. Right on cue, another turnover.
Vanderbilt just completely befuddled by this pack line defense.
Isaiah Jackson weaves through traffic and scores. Largest lead of the night for Drake. Huffman, an immediate answer and a quick timeout by Mark Byington.
No, what's crazy about this tonight is Vanderbilt's good. Like, Vanderbilt has the makings of a team that will have a very good season. They have just been bled dry by a Drake team that puts so much pressure on every possession and just takes life out of you. It's like, you know, death by 1,000 paper cuts. And it starts with that guy right there, Bennett Sturtz, who is going to be a big part of the conversation in college basketball this year.
He has a double-double tonight, 12 points and 11 assists to go along with 5 rebounds. And if you didn't know the name before the night, now you do. Bennett Sturtz, you're going to hear it a lot between now and March. This was a Drake team, by the way, picked 5th in the Missouri Valley preseason. Three minutes and 13 seconds away from leaving Charleston undefeated, 6-0 on the season, 3-0 in this tournament. And for a Ben McCollum program, adding trophies to the closet is just something you do. He won 4 Division II national championships, won their league 12 times in 15 years. Incredible. Stolen away. Vanderbilt not done yet. 2 free throws coming.
Now it's called on number 4, Isaiah Jackson, his second. Team 9.
Chris Mignon, the transfer from Cornell, is stepping to the line.
Chris Mignon.
If you're Vanderbilt, you need a lot to go right in the final 3 minutes, but one thing that is absolutely essential is making your free throws.
But you imagine they'll continue to pick up with pressure.
Bennett Sturtz almost gave it away. Mitch Muscari saves it for Drake and a foul call. Risky pass, though.
Yeah, well, Drake's had some difficulty with this pressure, and I mean, I don't know where Bennett Sturtz is throwing that thing. Nice job by his teammate Mitch Muscari bailing him out, and then Drake ends up getting bailed out of that almost turnover with 2 free throws. Or 1-and-1.
Makes the front end. Muscari, one of those 4 Drake starters that followed Coach Ben McCollum from Northwest Missouri State. They believed in his vision, believed that they were good enough to play at this level. Boy, have they proven that this week in Charleston. 3 minutes away from a championship, leading by 12. Hogard playing with 4 fouls, aggressive, blocked, and guess who? Cam Mignon. How good has he been?
He's been a beast tonight. I mean, that's guarding A.J. Hogard one-on-one, and then as the primary defender, just saying, return to sender. I'm running out of, you know, block
expressions. Yeah. I worked with a guy a long time ago, not for our network, that would just yell security every time there was a block. Never mixed it up. 20 blocks in a game, 20 securities.
There's the variety in that.
Edwards lost the handle and a foul call. So 2 coming at the line for Jason Edwards because Vanderbilt in the double bonus the rest of the way.
Foul called on number 4, Isaiah Jackson, his third, team 10. Double bonus. On the line, number 1, Jason Edwards, shooting 2.
Edwards individually has had a strong night. Season high 25 points for the transfer from North Texas. Just not enough from the supporting cast. Tyler Nichols scoreless. Grant Huffman a quiet night as well. Full court pressure. Long outlet pass, and it pays off. Finds Abreu safely. taking this shot clock under 10. Here's Bennett Sturtz. Into the lane. Another bucket for Bennett Sturtz, the closer in Charleston.
So good playing off of 2 feet in there.
Magnon draws contact. But Vanderbilt running out of time, not getting enough stops. Bennett Sturtz, too dynamic down the stretch, putting this game away. First career double-double for our Shriners Children's player of the game. And he has been the player of the tournament.
He has. He's been the best player in this event. I mean, he completely outplayed. Now, Miami did not look good here. They've got a lot of soul searching to do. But he completely outplayed Nigel Pack in their first game of this tournament.
Wide open. Another jam. It's a rack attack. Cam Manyao with a big wow. And an and one on the other end. Immediate answer. Chris Magnon, he's been active down the stretch for Vanderbilt.
He has. He's kind of a dirty work guy, you know, a complimentary type of player. You know, I think what Mark Byington is going to learn from this game tonight is he's not as deep as he thought they were. Like, he needs to figure out who he really wants to play. And he's gone small here, I think, out of necessity.
Drake breaking this press, no problem. Tallying up the easy baskets. It's an 11-point lead now. Huffman in a hurry. Stolen away by Sturtz. Over and back, though. Sturtz didn't think he crossed the line, and he did.
And then number 5, Tyler Nickel. Also returning number 22, Jalen Kelly.
Vanderbilt has only made 4 threes tonight. Collins too long on that one. A team that has shot the ball from deep really well this season has struggled against this Drake defense all night long. Collins, that rims in.
Number 2, MJ Collins. Timeout call.
Timeout Vanderbilt, their final timeout.
That's a full timeout.
Bennett Sturtz is going to be a problem in the Missouri Valley Conference this year. He gave real headaches to Miami and FAU, and you wondered against the depth and the speed and how aggressive Vanderbilt's defense was coming into this tournament, you wondered how he would translate. Well, the answer is very well. I mean, he just picked them apart out of the middle ball screen. And completely controlled the game.
Here's what's incredible about Bennett Sturtz and this Drake team this week in Charleston. Not only are they more than likely going to win this tournament, but they're going to win it in pretty comfortable fashion. You beat Miami by 11, then you beat Florida Atlantic by 12. Here they are up 9 with 1:11 to go. Under a first-year head coach in Ben McCollum, who's coaching at the Division I level for the first time after 4 Division II national championships at Northwest Missouri State, waited for the right opportunity, and that has come here at Drake. And if you missed the story earlier, we've said it a few times tonight, he brought 4 of those Northwest Missouri State players with him, one of those being Bennett Sturtz, and boy, have they proved they belong. This is a coming out party for those 4 and this Drake team. And they are breaking this press with ease.
Foul called on 30.
Mitch Mascari will head to the line.
Team 9.
But if you're Vanderbilt, you've played two very good mid-majors here. That Nevada win is going to end up paying dividends come March. They beat them by 2. And, you know, you assume Drake is going to be right there on the cusp of a tournament. There's two good mid-major programs. Telling a fan to leave.
Yeah, I think somebody's been thrown out here at Charleston with a little more than a minute to go.
I mean, with your team up 9, if you're saying stuff worthy of being thrown out of the building, I think you're taking it too seriously, buddy.
Tyler Nickel. Number 11, H.A. Hogarth.
The 1-1 coming for Mitch Mascari. Makes the front end. We thought coming into the week this was a pretty even field. All 8 teams had a chance to win it, but only one team could leave 3-0 with a huge resume boost. And Drake a minute away from taking the trophy back to Des Moines. Hogarth throws it up way off the mark. And a foul comes in. Mascari will head right back to the line, and the Bulldog fans that have made the trip to Charleston get to their feet.
On the line for the Bulldogs, number 22, Mitch Mascari, shooting 2.
This is a statement win for Ben McCollum's program. A statement 4 days to leave Charleston with 3 convincing victories against a really good field and some talented teams. Edwards stole it away. Of course, Bennett Sturtz seals it with a slam. This is a Vanderbilt team that, you know, picked last in the SEC. They showed they're going to be a lot better than that over these 4 days in Charleston, but they couldn't get it done tonight against this Drake team.
You can learn from losing, and Vanderbilt had some things exposed tonight that Drake was really able to take advantage of.
Charleston has been a staple of Feast Week since 2008. Another terrific tournament here in the Holy City. The Shriners Children's Charleston Classic in the year 2024 belongs to the Drake Bulldogs. A convincing win, and Ben McCollum and this Drake team moves to 6-0 and will be taking the Charleston Classic Championship trophy back to Des Moines.
They play the game the right way. You know, they are so fundamentally drilled, so fundamentally sound, precise in how they go about their business. They bled Vanderbilt to death in this game tonight.
Now, they've been to 3 of the last 4 NCAA tournaments, but that was under a different coach with different players. With Ben McCollum in year number 1, a statement made here in Charleston. You can take the tie off, coach. Relax a little bit. Your Charleston Classic champions as they knock off Vanderbilt out of the SEC. For our terrific crew behind the scenes, they did a great job all week. Chris Patola, Jay Alter saying so long. Feast Week rolls on. Goodbye from Charleston.